Hello friends, Tony Botchgalupo here, and every week I do a Q&A with the members of my mastermind group. My group is called New Work Cities, and it is for co-working space owners and community leaders. And this week, most of the folks in the call were talking about pretty much the same topic, which is a new season of event programming that they're planning for their community. Now, I am a big fan of this topic because member programming is so important. It gives people a reason to come into the space. You don't want to have a community where people have to just join and figure out what to do. Giving people a program to join gives them a reason to join by a specific date. It gives them a way of engaging with other people. It's super valuable, super important. So we want to give people reasons to join and participate. Programming is super important for this. However, when you get into this, it's really easy when you're getting started to just overcommit. Create lots of programming that it's easy to fill your calendar with great ideas, and then you have to execute it, and that's when it just becomes a lot of work. So we don't want to overcommit. We don't want to invest too much time and energy. And on top of all of this, once you've created all this awesome programming, getting people to actually show up can actually be a real uphill battle, especially if you're trying to roll out a bunch of programs all at once. And I have been in this boat many times myself, and it's so frustrating when you put all this work into making these programs great and then people are too busy, they won't commit even if they told you they were going to come, and even if they do show up, getting people to keep coming back on a regular basis. However, these are big problems. However, there are solutions, thank goodness. I got into a little bit about this in our conversation today. First and foremost, this is so important, is to actually make sure people want what you're offering before you launch it. And it's really easy to just get into tunnel vision of I'm going to make it and then I'm going to blast it out to my newsletter and people are just going to sign up and it's going to be great. But that's not going to happen. The first few people who come to anything you do are going to be the people that you personally ask to come. And so you have to make sure that you've got that expectation in mind. And then once you get over that, it makes everything easier. So first of all, identify the top people in your community that you know are the most likely to say yes or the most likely to give you an honest opinion. And make sure you've got that list of names. You're going to go back to that often and ask for their opinion. And then when they give you feedback, incorporate it. Again, it's so easy during this phase to say, I just want someone to tell me it's wonderful and perfect and go for it. And then I just launch it. But then they're probably going to tell me something I don't want to hear. And that's annoying, but I'm going to deal with it anyway. And so I say, okay, I have to change up the format. Maybe I need to figure out how to do this without using too much video or whatever it is. Let me do this now before I launch it. And then once you've made the revision, shared it with them, they say they think it's great, ask them to help you promote it. Ask them to commit to joining. They've helped you to create it a little bit. And so now you can ask them to help you get this out to the rest of the world. And when you've got a couple of ringers in your community who are ready to jump on top of something and support it and help make it successful in the beginning, those other people will start to follow when they see a little bit of social proof. Next solution is focusing on making one program extremely great. So this is another thing that we can get into trouble with, is we make this huge menu of different activities that we want to offer our community, but it waters down our effort when it comes to where do we put our effort into inviting people, where do we put our effort into making the event programming really good. And in my mind, one really excellent, amazing program is worth its weight in many smaller okay programs. You do one thing that becomes legendary, that you make sure that just everybody has the best time, you're putting a lot of effort into really making it special. That's going to be an anchor that's going to drive a lot of energy and excitement and enthusiasm that's going to feed through to the other programs. You can still do other programs, just don't worry too much about them. Worry about the one that you need to make right. And so, for example, if I were to do a program that was kind of productivity focused, where people would set goals and then they would check in on those goals, and then there would be workshops and working sessions in between where people could work towards those goals together. All of those things are important, but the real thing that I need to make sure works well is that initial kickoff meeting where everybody sets their goals, because that's a really special, important moment. And then if people kind of drop off in between, so be it. And then I would say the finale, if we're going to do kind of like a big party at the end to celebrate the end of the program, I'm going to make sure that that first event and the last event are really, really good because I need them to be. And so I'm going to make sure that I'm going to put a lot of effort into that. And then everything else in between, if it comes and goes, so be it. So that's always extremely important to me. And then what else? Adjusting the scope to accommodating constraints. So, it's really easy for us as organizers to get it in our head what we want to give to our community in the form that works best for us. And I've got it in my head, as I'm sure so many other organizers have, that I want to get everybody to show up on a Zoom call once a week or once a day, or to come into a physical space when I was running one, where I wanted every member to show up once a week for something. And the reality is that most people just won't be able to do that. People are busy. Asking for an hour of somebody's time is a lot for a lot of people. And in this era of Zoom burnout, it's hard to get somebody to say yes to a regular hour of video synchronous Zoom. People are on the move. It's hard to pin people down. So we think about how can we refactor these programs? How can we make them versatile? If you have an event that is over video, can you give people options to dial in over the phone so that it's audio only? That helps if I'm on the go, if I'm juggling some kids in my house. If I can just dial in, have it in my ear, and be able to participate, it might make the difference between a bunch of your members joining and not. Or even, how can I simplify it? How can I make this something that people can join over text message, or they jump in and just start editing a document together, which is something I worked on this week and I've found some tremendous success. So simplify your event, make it easier, make it more accessible. You might be putting more work into it or asking too much of your members in your first version. So think of it as a design process. Think about how you can achieve most or all of the same goals while asking less of your members, and you're probably going to get more participation, and it's probably going to be easier for you. So just a few tips that came out of this week's Q&A. Hope that was useful to you. Feel free to follow my accounts for more information and some more resources. I'm creating all kinds of stuff to help community builders. And I hope this was useful. Would love to hear your thoughts, your comments. Any social proof you can add would be a big help and encouragement to me. Have an awesome day. Keep being awesome. Bye.